Hare Krishna everyone, welcome back to the reading teachings of Lord Chaitanya by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. We're continuing chapter number 13, Devotional Service in Attachment. If due to some righteous activities which provoke devotional service, one acquires some faith, one takes shelter of the good association of pure devotees and is influenced by their service attitude. Then he develops attachment for hearing and chanting. By developing hearing and chanting, one can advance further and further in regulative devotional service to the Supreme Lord. As one so advances, his misgivings about devotional service and his attraction to the material world proportionately diminish. By advancing in hearing and chanting, a devotee becomes more firmly fixed in his faith. Gradually, he develops a taste for devotional service, and that taste gradually develops into attachment for Kṛṣṇa. When that attachment becomes pure, it exhibits the two characteristics of Bhava, emotion, and Rati, affection. When Rati increases, it is called love of Godhead. Love of Godhead is the ultimate goal of human life. This process is summarized by Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.4.15 to 16. Quote, "The first thing required is faith. Due to faith, a person associates with pure devotees, and by such association, he develops devotional service. As devotional service develops, his misgivings diminish. Then he is situated in firm conviction, and from that conviction, he develops a taste for devotional service and advances to the stage of attachment for Kṛṣṇa, whereby he follows the regulative principles of devotional service spontaneously. After that point, he makes still further progress and attains the state called Bhava, which is permanent. Such love of Godhead becomes deeper and deeper until it reaches the highest stage of love of Godhead." Unquote. In Sanskrit, this highest stage is called prema. Prema can be defined as love of God without any expectation of exchange or return. Actually, the words prema and love are not synonymous. Yet, one can still say that prema is the highest stage of love. One who has attained prema is the most perfect human being. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25.25 confirms this statement. Only by the association of pure devotees can a person develop a taste for Kṛṣṇa consciousness. And when he tries to apply Kṛṣṇa consciousness in his life, he can achieve everything up to the stage of Bhava and Prema. So we can take the taste, we can acquire taste from association of pure devotees, but then we need to try to apply it in our life. We still need to try to apply it. And then we can achieve everything. Lord Chaitanya next described the symptoms of a person who has developed from faith to the stage of Bhava. Such a person is never agitated, even if there are causes for agitation, nor does he waste his time, not even a moment. He is always anxious to do something for Kṛṣṇa. Even if he has no engagement, he will find some work to do for Kṛṣṇa's satisfaction. Nor does such a person like anything which is not connected with Kṛṣṇa. Although he is situated in the best position, he does not hanker for извиняюсь. Ой, Hare Krishna. Sorry. He does not hanker after praise. Kṛṣṇa makes me stutter at the point he wants me to work on. After he is situated in the best position, he does not hanker after praise. Haribo! He is confident in his work. He is never under the impression that he is not making progress toward the supreme goal of life, going back to Godhead. Since he is fully convinced of his progress, he is always very busy achieving the highest goal. This would be something incredible to feel, I'm sure. But this is something that we will have when we reach Bhava. He is very much attached to gratifying the Lord and in chanting or hearing about the Lord. And he is always attached to describing the transcendental qualities of the Lord. He also wants to live in holy places like Mathura, Vrindavan or Dwaraka. All these characteristics are visible in one who has developed to the stage of Bhava. King Parikshit affords a good example of Bhava. When sitting on the bank of the Ganges, waiting to meet his death due to the curse of the Brahmana boy, he said, quote, "All the Brahmanas present here, as well as Mother Ganges, should know that I am a soul completely surrendered to Kṛṣṇa. I do not mind if I am immediately bitten by the snake sent by the Brahman boy. Let the snake bite me as it likes. I shall be pleased if all of you present here will go on chanting the message of Kṛṣṇa." Unquote. Such a devotee is always anxious to see that his time is not wasted in anything which is not connected with Kṛṣṇa. Consequently, he does not like the benefits derived from fruitive activity, yogic meditation, or the cultivation of knowledge. He is simply attached to words favorably related to Kṛṣṇa. Such pure devotees of the Supreme Lord always pray to him with tears in their eyes. Their minds always recollect his activities, and their bodies always offer him obeisances. Thus they are satisfied. Any devotee who renders such devotional service dedicates his life and body for the purpose of the Lord. King Bharat, after whom India is called Bharatvarsha, was also a pure devotee, and at an early age, he left his household life, his beautiful devoted wife, his sons, friends, and kingdom, just as if they were stool. This is typical of a person who has developed bhav. in the course of his devotional service. Such a devotee always thinks of himself as the most wretched, and his only satisfaction is in thinking that someday or other Kṛṣṇa will be kind enough to favor him by engaging him in devotional service. In the Padma Purana, another instance of pure devotion is found. There it is recorded that King Bhagirath, although the most elevated of human beings, was begging from door to door, and was even praying to the Chandalas, the lowest members of human society. Sri Sanatana Goswami later composed this verse. Na prema shravanadi bhaktirapi va yogo tava vaishnavo Gyanam va shubha karma va kiyadaho sajjatirapyastiva Hinarthadika sadake tvai tathapya chedya mulasati He gopi janavalabha vyathayate hahamadashaivam. Quote, I am poor in love of Godhead, and I have no qualification for hearing about devotional service. Nor do I have any understanding of the science of devotional service, nor any qualification of knowledge, nor any righteous activities to my credit, nor am I born in a high family. Nonetheless, O darling of the damsels of Vraja, I still maintain a hope of achieving you, and this hope is always disturbing me. Unquote. Their humility is always so heartbreaking, isn't it? Hare Krishna. A devotee who is touched deeply by such a strong desire always chants Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this regard, the following verse by Bilva Mangala appears in the Krishna Karnamrita 32. Tvachai shavam tribhuvanadbhutam ityavehi machapalam chatavava mama vadhigamyam tam kim karomi viralam murali vilasi mugdham mukham bhujam udikshitum ikshanabhyam. Quote, O Krishna, O flute player, the beauty of your boyhood activities is very wonderful in this world. You know the agitation of my mind, and I know what you are. No one knows how confidential our relationship is. Although my eyes are anxious to see your face, I cannot see you. Please, let me know what to do. Jai. A similar passage appears in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.3.38. One moment. Oh, okay. In which Rupa Goswami states, Rodana bindu maranda shandi drig indu indi varadya govinda tava madhura svara kanthi gayati nama valimbala. Quote, O Govinda, this young girl with tears in her eyes is crying in a sweet voice, chanting your glories. Unquote. Such pure devotees are always anxious to describe the glories of Kṛṣṇa and to live in a place where he exhibited his pastimes. A similar verse appears again in the Krishna Karnamrita 92. Quote, "The body of Kṛṣṇa is so nice, and his face is so beautiful. Everything about him is simply sweet and fragrant." Unquote. And in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.156, quote, "O lotus-eyed one, when will I be able to always chant your holy name, and being inspired by that chanting, when will I be able to dance on the banks of the Yamuna?" In this way, Lord Chaitanya described to Sanatana Goswami the symptoms of Bhava stage of devotional service. Lord Chaitanya next described the symptoms of actual love for Kṛṣṇa. He said that no one can understand the words, activities, or symptoms of a person who has developed love of Kṛṣṇa. Even if one is very learned, it is very difficult to understand a pure devotee in the stage of love of God. This is confirmed in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. When a person engaged in devotional service, in love of Kṛṣṇa, in love of God, sings the glories of the Supreme Lord, his heart melts, because the Lord is very dear to him. When he glorifies the Lord's name, fame, and so on, he becomes almost like an insane man. And in that condition, he sometimes laughs, sometimes cries, and sometimes dances. He continues in this way without even considering his situation. By gradually developing his love of Godhead, he increases his affection, his emotion, and his ecstasy. The culmination of such attachment is Mahabhava, the highest stage of devotional love. It may be likened to rock candy, which is the most concentrated form of sugar. As it is concentrated, sugarcane juice goes through different stages: molasses, sugar, sugar candy, but the final and most palatable state is rock candy. Similarly, love of Godhead can gradually develop in such a way that transcendental pleasure is increased to the highest stage for the real devotee. We have completed chapter 13. Wow, this was so nectarian. Hare Krishna. So tomorrow we will start chapter 14, the ecstasy of the Lord and his devotees. So stay tuned. This was Shravanam Diaries podcast and your host Sulalita Devidasi at your service. We'll see you tomorrow. The link to this book is in the description. Please dive into the nectar along with us. Share it with your friends. Visit our website shravanamdiaries.com. See you. Hare Krishna.